Check the literature.
If we
as
time
Bradley
stamp
would
this.
say.
Yes, exactly. Check that literature for sure, Sid. Like, yes.
Oh man! Wow! Wow! New year, new
Yes.
me, huh?
I guess so. Well, you, I don't know, me, still retired, just trying to hit these resolutions
I mean,
right.
I
That's
don't really
all.
believe in this year, new me stuff, but I think it's funny as like
Just a funny statement to say. Like,
when people say it as let's say they say it ironically, or they say it like
they say it like I've always said that.
just one thing I've always said.
One thing I've always said, it's that. You know that. You know it's true.
So slop jalop open. Who cares?
It's fine. I'll make it work.
Yeah. So big topic today. I was feeling savage. We had a different topic.
Kristen had done a great job of setting like our next 3 weeks in order and everything with dates on them. Boom, boom, and then we walked in and she was like, "Yep, not feeling that."
Not feeling that. Let's just fuck around and talk about rosters more. Because here's the thing: it's new year. It's a new year, 2022. And just like we need to refresh the
pool.
Well, we need to refresh everything. We need to refresh our minds, our hearts, our fucking loins.
But
we need to refresh.
You also know, like, we're coming up on cuffing season championship time. So
yeah, well,
those people that are
me and you aren't in the fucking championship. Let's put it that way. Jesus Christ!
I didn't even get like one of those NBA 10-day hardship contracts.
You didn't even get a 10-day.
I didn't even get a 10-day. I didn't even get a 10-day, bro. Like,
how about the holiday sneak attack though?
Oh yeah, I participated on that. It was not as successful this year. I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking maybe the podcast done gave the game away. I didn't get as many responses this year.
Hard ghost.
I mean, some of those people we ain't talked in a minute, so I'm not surprised.
So you didn't expect much.
Yeah, I was like, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't.
I get it.
But some of them, it was just kind of like, when you're just being like, I don't want to talk to you, and you just say like, thanks.
Thanks,
or you put,
period.
Thanks.
THX.
Or
period.
Or even the worst, you and the number 2.
Back at ya.
You too.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I got a couple of those.
Damn, you got
responses.
a you too?
I got a you too. Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Needless to say, we
old
have
yeller
been
in this
bitch. I may or may not have blocked that person. So
I did not send out any
sneak attacks.
I received a few. Well, I didn't. Okay, so, to be fair, I didn't send any out because I was snowboarding.
Yeah, you was like,
and I was just like, I don't care.
Shit.
Yeah. I received a few, none that were enticing, to be honest.
Damn. Sorry, guys. We're enticing. Bring your sneak attacks better. You got to do those future lines next time. Like,
I mean, yeah, just not convincing. That's all I'll say on
okay,
that.
but well, what's funny and kind of leading into your main topic of the roster.
Yeah.
The sneak attack is the perfect time for the reset
I
with
know.
some of this roster. So you're telling me that these few that hit you up, you saw no roster potential, so that's
one
why
of
they were not
them was someone I've mentioned on this podcast before, and X-Nay on the return bay. Not happening. Can't go.
Do not pass go. Do not connect $200.
Just straight out of here. The other one obviously got one from Nelson Cruz, no doubt about that. That's the one I'm least.
We knew.
Yeah, whatever.
We all knew. You didn't need to say that one.
That's fine. That's just what it is. One of them was from Green Bubbles, and the problem I'm having with Green Bubbles is I don't have any active beef with him. If he's fucking listening to this, I don't have any active beef with you, but
Aww.
I literally don't care because we never see each other. So I'm just like, whatever. That's one of the things I was gonna
time for me.
Well, that's one of the things I was gonna bring up on the roster topic is I feel like, am I just being crazy that there needs to be more regular interaction and communication?
So, I guess when you say this, are you saying I guess it's like how much communication. Because, again, with the roster,
Yeah.
which is, sort of like the situationship, it's not a relationship. I know you've said before, you're not beholden to them.
No, you're not.
So, which goes both ways.
Yep.
I mean, if I'm not trying to see you or I'm, messing around, I'm on multiple rosters, I'm signing 10 days all over the place.
Right.
Like, should I not just wait to hit you up till I'm actually ready to hit you up? Like,
I feel like there's still some level of like if you don't like keep there's still some element of like to quote whatever the spark to quote the previous riddle me this episode, like if you don't cultivate something like even just a little bit, like
it's just a bit,
little bit, like if we had previously said like if you don't communicate in the course of 1 week, then things like start to fizzle. Now that's talking about like a dating scenario where you're trying to like pursue
correct,
this
where you're
person.
actually trying to. Then it's a ghost, yes.
Right. But so I wouldn't be that extreme with it. I don't need to hear from you every week, especially me. You know me. I don't need to hear from you every week.
Barely need to hear from someone, but
like if I don't see you more than once a month, I'm not saying we have to see each other like on the nose every 2 weeks type thing, but like I can't see you once a month for like 3 months, and that's like sufficient at that point. Like I'm and again, I'm not mad at you, but I'm just like, you're not on the roster, like you're on the practice squad, you're on the fucking scrubs. Like
yeah, you're down to AAA shit, G League.
Like for real.
So but question, like specifically with that scenario, if you're only seeing them once a month but they do text you semi-regularly, like every pay period, is that cool? Like, does that make it less or better or
I mean,
worse?
if the conversation is really vibing, then yeah, of course that doesn't hurt.
But
it's like, again, are we in a long distance relationship? Like, why aren't you fucking me? Like, let's get it going here. Where is the link? Where is the sneaky?
I seen the funniest tweet today talking about, because it's like -6 or whatever.
Yeah.
And dude was like, it's -6 degrees outside, so if your girl live across the street, you're officially in a long distance relationship.
Yeah, high key.
Those are the rules, and I agree. But okay, no, I mean you know me, like my simp ass, like 100%. I need to talk to you.
You need to talk. You need to see them.
I need to have
like,
some
blah, blah,
conversation. Like,
I mean, like this one guy in 2021 that I was talking to for a little while. Like the problem with him is that he was clearly trying to show like he was still interested. He was really busy or whatever. And he would text me, but it was just like the most basic ass shit that I'm just like, this isn't doing anything for me either. Like you're texting me as if you feel obligated to do it, which like you sort of are. But at the same time, like it's not serving you or me for you to be like, oh, how was your day?
Yeah. Just
when
like,
we haven't seen each other in 3 weeks.
Hey, boo.
Hey, how was work? It was work. It was the same old fucking bullshit. Like, what do you want? You want me to ask you how was your day at work? Like, and I would, because that's what he would say to me, and he would just be like, "Oh yeah, I was whack. Da da da. Same old.
Pretty busy.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad to be done.
Right.
Just chilling at home.
Going home, gonna watch Netflix. Yeah, no shit.
Grab some dinner. What about you?
Right. So I'm like, okay, so you're hitting me up because you're trying to like communicate that you're still like, I'm still on your radar on some level.
You're still in my phone.
Right. But like,
you don't got nothing to say.
You ain't got nothing to say.
Well, I mean, I agree that for the most part, you shouldn't do that. There are some guys that it's just, they're better in person, but.
Right. But this guy was not one of them. Yeah.
They should make the effort to see you then in person.
And like, I just feel like this isn't helping you either. There's sometimes where it's just like the conversation, people aren't on the same page. They want to talk about different things.
Yeah, which happens.
Which is fine. But like, you're not even giving us the chance to see if that's the case. If you're just saying like, hey, how was work? That's just like so fucking boring. Who wants to answer that? Even in real life. Don't you, like, you know what I mean? Like, in real life, if somebody says, how was work? Well, it sucked. Like, I don't know. Maybe if we have enough rapport that it's like I can actually vent to you about the actual people, like who I'm talking about, then fine. That's sort of a different thing.
But then you're on a different level, so you wouldn't even, all we're talking about right now wouldn't even apply.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Wouldn't make a difference. So.
But if it's just casual, whatever, oh, how's work? Bitch, no one cares. Literally.
So is that rule number one for these new roster boys in 2022? Like,
I just feel like the problem with the dudes from 2021 is that they didn't. I don't know. I don't know if they thought that, because again, like, I'm not always the most communicative in terms of like spelling all this shit out. Yeah. Yeah. So
Stop
like
it.
I felt like there was a lot of disconnect in terms of like, I don't know if they thought that I was like trying to date them, which I wasn't, or like if they just didn't have the right sense of how much time we should be interacting or spending together. But something was just not jiving, and I felt like I was encountering this time and time again.
So do you think, and maybe we'll hash this out over the course of this episode, do you think that there is something different we need to execute?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
To make it more clear that they're a roster? And because again, I know the guys that you're talking about, and yes, you were not trying to date them. So
no, I'm not trying to date you.
If they tried to take it from that level, like
right,
from whatever had happened, I'm like, I mean, mistakes are made, but shouldn't be made that badly.
Because the thing is like if like I said, if I'm seeing you once every, especially when it's like if it's once every couple of months, like it's just like at that point this is just like this is like a shooting star scenario. Like you're literally just a scrub. You're a 10-day. Like you're not on the roster. I'm tired. It's getting to the point. The bar is so low that at this point you're not even doing enough to make it on the roster.
Oh. Man, you sound like Jeannie Buss out here. Like, not okay. Like, it's
just, it's not good enough. It's just not good enough. You're Ben Simmons with your phone in practice. Like, it's just not good enough. Just leave. Just come back when you have a better attitude.
Spoiler alert, still hasn't played, so that's hilarious. Oh, man. But, hey, we already said that's one of your resolutions. We're raising the bar on all the things. So
but I don't know. I mean, I don't really
roster?
think it's a good approach to also be like, I'm not trying to date you.
I mean, you don't say it in that way. You know me. I think words are important. You got to say things specifically. Like, you just say, like, you could try to date me if you want to. Remix of your favorite text. Like, yeah. You're not.
But again, I feel like it's not me who's not perpetuating the hanging out. Because, like, with one of the guys, I literally would propose things. Kristen dates, whatever. Yeah. I'm doing this. Would be great if you would join. Like, whatever. I would do that stuff. And he would, some of it was his fault. Some of it wasn't his fault. Out of town, family commitments, like, whatever. I'm not mad about any of it. But on a certain level, like, each party has to take
it's still annoying
ownership over the situation. Mm-hmm. And if I'm hitting you up all the time, like, and same with this other guy, like, I would invite him to shit. And it was always like, he always acted a little weird. Like, he thought it was weird that I was, like, pursuing him and, like, asking him to do stuff. And it's like,
you're so dude,
I'm not trying to date you. Like, you literally can relax. Like, you're worried that I'm getting too clingy, but I'm not. I don't care. I don't know how to, like, make that clear.
So intimidating with all your aggressiveness. Gotta calm it down there, Xena, okay? Like, chill.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like people just need to, like, get a grip and not think that, like, bitches are trying to marry them.
I think you should go the whole other way. And I think you should just act like you really try to date all of them.
Really? You think?
And just let these motherfuckers
just lean the fuck in.
Just let these motherfuckers fall in love and just F-Boy Island the shit.
Wow, this is wild. This has never occurred to me.
Just
okay.
F-Boy Island the shit. Go ahead and just Garrett your way to, like,
just Garrett my way to the top. Just Garrett my way to the dick.
Just 5 dudes on the roster, all of which think that you're in love.
There was this TikTok trend for a while that was like, about to go, what's an NFT my way into some dick tonight?
I mean, I'm sure it worked.
And the audio was, I'm addicted to finessing. I'm addicted to finessing.
Oh, my God.
So you think I should just lean in and just be like, totally, like, I love you?
I mean, obviously, I don't want you to use that word. But
act that way, not say it.
Yeah, I think you can just go ahead and do it. Because here's the thing. A lot of, like, as we everything in the beginning of the year is a lot of looking back and seeing what happened the past year or whatever.
Right, and like setting up for the future,
This roster 2.0 episode, we're doing sort of similar. Mm-hmm. Great ideas about what to get for the roster, but especially, now we got Omarion out here hustling us. People like really in their feelings a little bit about the choices they make. Mm-hmm. But they will make stupid-ass choices if they think this bitch love him. And I just think you could get a boat daddy real quick if you was like, love me.
I mean, this does lean into my like whole I should shoot my shot more vibe.
Well, yes, it does. But even without that, like, let's say they're the one shooting their shot and you're just receiving it. You can be like, hey, that was a real good shot right there, my mans. You got great Ray Allen form over there. It's beautiful. Like, wow. Like, just give them a little sauce, a little compliment, like, just let them feel maybe better than you honestly do.
Yeah, just like just totally finesse it. Yeah.
I just think you could go the whole other way. Just try it for like a month.
I cannot believe you are giving me be more toxic advice. Like, I love this for me.
Hey, new year, new me. Yeah. I've always said that. Always
if there's one thing you've always said, it's that.
I'm just saying. So I say lean into it. Go for it. And, as my resolution about being a better wingman, I'll be all out here gassing these dudes up, telling them, yeah, man, she ain't talking to no other dude. She bout you,
there
bro.
There we go.
She bout you. Like, go for it. Connect 4. And...
Okay.
And yeah, you just,
vibes.
You run that roster until you're over it, or until we get to boating season when, of course, everybody gets cut.
Yeah, I mean, once that boat hits the dock, it's a fucking wrap.
And everybody gets cut.
Hot girl summer, everybody already knows that, hopefully.
Boat daddy might stay, but everybody else, but I had to go.
But we're in rebuilding mode. January, February, March.
So, compared to the roster from last year, I know you already brought up the fact that the communication wasn't ideal.
Right.
Was not ideal. Is there anything else that was missing from them that we need to now look for here in 2022?
Yes. I mean, I think there's this misunderstanding about in general what one should expect from the roster people. And this is something that I sort of like we talked about it in the 101 episode, roster 101 episode in season 1, but I feel like I didn't like put this fine of a point on it, which is that you should not be looking for the same things that you're looking for in men if you're seeking like a boyfriend, husband, whatever, like relationship. So like...
You kind of broke this down when you were talking about the ones that I should get. You were like, get you a boat bag, get you the sloppy drunk bag, get you like...
Right, which is a very specific example, but just to be more like all-encompassing for people, especially if people who don't live in Minnesota where there's no lake. Like, that's so specific.
Get on the yacht then.
I mean, I feel like, so like people who are looking for relationships, like what are they trying to get out of that relationship? Love, support, stability, whatever. Domesticity.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Consistent sex. I mean, that's true of both the roster seekers and the...
Correct, yeah.
Or the team captains, as I like to say. Versus
come on out here,
But the
Joe
specific
Mauer.
thing about roster seeking and being a team captain is that you're looking for, entertainment, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Fun, attention, sex, connection. There's this great Instagram girl that I really like that always says, just do it for the plot.
The plot of the movie?
The plot, yeah, just the plot. Just do it for the plot. Just fuck him for the plot. But back to your actual question of, like, what are they lacking, right?
Yeah.
I feel like these guys, again, like, I got the distinct impression from some of them that they really thought that I was, like...
The relationship seeker?
Yeah. And I have no idea what it is about me that is projecting this, or if they're not even reading me at all, and they just, like, automatically assume that through whatever experiences they've had.
I mean, I know it's a new season, new year, but same quote. We ain't that smart.
Well, fair point. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of nuance.
We normally don't think with our head. We like to think with our dick. So, like...
But see, it seems like that should help the situation.
It helps it for a short period of time.
Sure.
So I would say anything under a month, they're only thinking with their penis.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. Once you go over 30 days, it's like, I don't even know. It's like when this is going to date me, but like when you didn't return the Blockbuster rental and they just charge you for the whole thing, it's like, fuck it, now we went the whole way. So now I'm just going the whole other way. Like,
yeah, now it's a different story.
Fuck it. And yeah, I just think once it gets past that, it's like, it's too late now. Like, now I'm thinking we're in it to win it. Like, why would she waste this much time? Like, you know, like, it must be something else. Like, and you're right, it is something else. It's called the roster. But obviously, they didn't see Quarantings season 1.
Yeah,
so, that's on them. That's on them. But, yeah, I don't know.
How does this, I mean, again, how does, because I do like your point about, like, how, like, just lean in and just be like, no, oh, baby, I love you, like, whatever.
Oh, baby, I love you.
But at the same time, that's not at all communicating this point. If they're already scared off because I'm, like, supposedly acting too clingy, even though I'm 100% not, which is just why this is so funny.
But see, I don't know that those dudes are scared off as much as they are reading the initial situation incorrectly.
Yeah, they are.
And now trying to push you into something close to the roster without actually talking about it.
Right.
Because, again, we're not very smart. So we talked about this off wax about a situation where people don't want to be adults and just have a conversation.
Yeah, no, they don't.
So it's like, I could just tell her, you know, like, I just like the vibe that we have, and, you know, I just want to keep us at the same level, which is essentially saying I want to be on the roster.
Right.
It's a very simple,
but even
easy
that,
message.
Yeah, that's a great
Very
that's fine.
easy message.
Perfect, easy, done.
But you don't want to take the risk if you think that homegirl's in love with you.
Right.
And so you just don't do it.
But
you
some of these guys, they
stupid.
were actually being like really stupid. Like the one guy in particular, he like, this was the guy that I like, whatever, hooked up with his friend right in front of him.
Classy, bougie, ratchet.
Yeah, and like the next, couple weeks later, I was like, let me hit this guy up, see how he reacts, if he's just like, fuck you or what. So I just hit him up and was like, hey, how are you? Like,
yeah, how's it going?
What's new? And we chatted a little bit, and then he was just like, so you're just like hitting me up, just like see how I'm doing? And I was like, yeah.
Is that not okay? Is that not allowed?
Which I guess maybe is a little bit mind games on my part, but like at the same time, it's like, if you think that I'm in love with you at this point, like, who's the stupid one? Because I just fucked your boy, like, literally right in front of your fucking face.
I just fucked your boy in some Gucci flip-flops. Hey.
So if you think that this is more than it is, that sounds like a fucking you problem,
not
a me
mean,
problem.
Yes, that particular situation, if anybody was in love, it was definitely not you. But, okay, all right. I mean,
it's just weird. I don't know. I can't decide if I think that these dudes from 2021, like, is it just coincidental that they were all just fucking being annoying and dumb?
Maybe they were just all dudes that more deserve to be in AAA, and you pulled you called them up too early.
I did, for real.
Called them up to the big leagues.
I mean,
to
be fair to me, like, we're still in this fucking quarantine shit. Omarion is rampant, and like, fucking resources are scarce.
Yeah. They are. You gotta. Just like these NBA teams, man. Them 10-day hardships.
They can't even fucking field a team. They're canceling games left and right.
Them 10-day hardships. You know how many? I think there's been like 6 bowls or whatever that got canceled during bowl season. Maybe
honestly,
more
I'm about
at
to
this
start
point.
signing roster members to 10-day fucking contracts.
I think that's the move.
I really do.
If you give them the 10-day, you don't even gotta do what I said about the lean in and like it would be a little loved or whatever. Just like, hey. At this 10-day marker, you just gonna be like,
10 days, and either we're feeling it or get lost.
No, not even that. I feel like you just do the 10-day and be like, hey, thank you for your service. And if they want to come back around, then that's on them. Like, make these motherfuckers prove it. Like,
yeah.
I know I'm just really highlighting for you to do a lot of savage things. Yes,
I know, but I feel like that's the exact opposite of the other thing you said.
Well, only in the sense of like, I'm telling you can love these dudes for 10 days and then just be like, bye.
Just be like, peace out.
And then just however they react, they react. Because if you do it that way, then they know that you're savage and they know that you're not serious.
Yeah.
So if they still come back around, they know that they have the potential there. It might just be another 10 day.
Right.
Like, if you want to take this risk on hopping on another 10 day, that's on you, bro. If you really think you're about to get on the roster. It's just wild
because literally in 2021, when I did the first Roster 101 episode, I myself, like, fucking, here I call myself seasoned professional in this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Literally did not even have it in my mind that there was a legitimate, like, secondary roster beneath the roster, like AAA or whatever. Like, sure, I may have made that joke or two about it here and there, but, like, there's a lot of people that belong on AAA. Like, they are legit not even ready to be on the roster for real.
No, I mean, some of those people are the ones that pretty much you wait till the holiday sneak attack, and depending on how the sneak attack is, you may give them. That's when you give them the 10-day, and you come back around for a little bit. But
it's literally like the Make-A-Wish team, and I say that because I more mean it in the sense of like wish upon a star. Like it's so coincidental. So like particularly this one guy I'm thinking of, like. We would always fuck with each other if we happened to run into each other through mutual friends. But there was not a lot of like outside of that context, like reaching out, except for the very occasional time. And it's just like, if you want to be the Make-A-Wish, fine. But like, I don't care about you. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry.
First of all, you got to stop saying you're sorry because you're not sorry.
No, I'm not.
So, yeah, throw that away. Second, like, I don't know. It really just depends because I do agree that you probably should put more tiers to it this year.
For real.
I think
A and B squad.
Varsity, JV.
Yeah, JV, high key.
I think it's more of a thing of how long are you going to take to evaluate who's supposed to be
10
on?
days.
Okay. All right. You going to stick to that?
10-day contract. I mean, that's where we're at. That's where the league is at. I don't make the rules. This is what the league is bringing to me. Omarion's out here.
This is what Omarion's doing to everybody. It's
fuck.
That's all the time we got for you.
We don't have time to waste. Jesus. Oh yeah. Okay. So here's another thing. Wait, scroll down. Here's another thing to bring up. I don't like these notions that are very like commonplace.
The patriarchy.
Such as make him wait notion. Make him wait notion. First of all, let's just argue if that even applies to the relationship seekers.
Make him wait for sex.
Yeah. Like don't put out too early.
I mean,
is that myth? Back to Mythbusters. Like that. Roster aside, let's just get down to this at first.
I mean, I don't know. In 2022, I think we moved past that. Like,
right?
First of all, most of these people coming in and out of quarantine, because that's what we're doing at this point. Hey, you're not waiting. Like, we ain't got time to wait.
Who's got time? Omarion might take you down any day.
Yeah, no. Somebody's shooting in the gym trying to beat Omarion, so we can't be.
Some people like to make the argument that like men and women, but particularly men, love the chase. And so that's one of the like arguments behind like the make him wait argument, because it's like, oh, you put up too early.
It's a dangerous game.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous game because you make a brother wait too long, they might get it, and then you're the one that's on the 10-day. Like,
right.
It's like, it was fine.
So there's a balancing act there, but it's mostly debunked, I would say.
I agree.
But particularly for the GMs, the team captains, the roster seekers over here, like that is not a thing. Like not a thing. And then even more specifically than just the general like first date, you can't fuck him on the first date thing. Like I'm talking about like I behave differently with men that I don't see a potential relationship with. For example, last year, one of the guys on the roster, I rarely do. So I don't pick fights with people on the roster because it's literally not worth it. But one thing I will always have time for, and I've always said this.
If there's one thing you've always said, it is this.
It is if you like disrespect me personally. Like, if you're just being dumb, like, whatever, we disagree on something,
happens.
Don't care. Yeah,
cool.
Don't care.
Do you, boo-boo.
Not worth the argument. If you are not treating my time, energy, effort, person with respect, I will let you fucking know. And so there was this one time where I invited this guy to something, and then he was like, oh yeah, I'll let you know. And then weeks later was like, oh, I'll see you there. And I was like, what does that mean? And he was like, oh, I'm going to be there with my whatever homies.
Yeah, I'm going to be there with other people.
Yeah, and I was like, and I literally texted him, was like, so you're texting me to let me know that you found better people to go to this thing with than me, even though I invited you weeks ago. And he acted all fucking pissed off.
Oh my God,
upset, like,
no.
Yeah, totally. And I had every excuse in the world. And legitimately, then we like talked about it, whatever, and he had a this and that good reason. So fine, doesn't matter.
He had a reason, yeah.
But the point is, we get into this argument. And I tell him, I'm like, this is whack. And I didn't even say that. Like, he came with me with the good reasons. And I was like, great reasons. Great, fine. But, like, I have every right to be upset at this scenario.
You must see this from my angle.
You must see this.
Yeah. How
this is whack to me.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, and then he calmed down and was like, okay, yeah, you're right. Anyway, not the point. Point is, saw him later that night at said function, went home with him, fucked him.
I was wondering if you were going to say that part because I know this story. So I was just wondering if you were going to get to that part.
And it's funny because, like, as I was relaying the story to, like, my friends, you, whoever, a lot of the reaction I was getting from people was like, oh my God, like, you would, like, da-da-da-da. Like, the very low-key implication was like, why would you forgive him that quickly? Like, why would you have the argument in the morning and then fuck him at night? That was a lot of the vibes I was getting from people.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, I'll say this. That I just wasn't surprised that you slept with him, but that had nothing to do with whether you argue with him or not argue with him. That was just more like, and
I don't necessarily mean you. I just mean in general.
No,
I
know
a lot of this, and this is kind of my point about what I'm saying about, like, the make him wait is not relevant. Because if I was trying to pursue a relationship with this person, I would, like, have way more of a emotional investment in, like, the state of our interactions and relationship and intimacy and, like, all those really important things and communication. And, like, in the morning, like, he obviously communicated with me in a not great way, and, like,
yeah,
I would feel like, okay, like, I want us to work on these really important things, and I'm not feeling good about us, like, acting like it's all fine and just, like, whatever, getting down to business and fucking, like, whatever. I don't care.
Which is why it's like you would go back and sleep with him. Like,
right. Which is why it's like, it's so funny to me that even though I get on this podcast week after week after week after week and be like, I'm on, like, building a roster, I'm not trying to date these dudes, going on and on about it. People still, like, in their deepest heart and souls, there's that little piece of them that can't fathom that I would really not care like this.
One, because that's not normal. It's like I get tired of being out here talking about you're the unicorn and not the way that the freaky community talks about.
I mean,
like, it's not normal. Like, I see, how many of your friends act like this? This is
fair. This is a fair point that it's not normal, but I would also like to just say that, like,
or I guess
I'm not the only one. I'm not the only woman out here who's trying to casually date.
I didn't say that you were.
No, I know.
But I'm also saying, just tell me, think of, like, 3 of your single friends right now in your head and think of how many of them act like that. All right, then, we're done here.
No, I mean, I think it's about 50-50, honestly. I think, but, you know, if it's 50-50 among single people, that makes it 1/4 of the total female population. So, like, yes, it's a minority. So that's fine. But I'm just saying, and also, like, I also want to make it clear, it's not that I don't care about him. I do. It's that I don't care about our relationship being, like,
more than what it is.
And so I don't need to be worried about this argument that we had in the morning because it's not that deep. I just want to fuck you. I'm just horny. And that's the other thing about this whole make him wait argument is that it's like, it's always very much geared toward, like, the big picture.
Yeah.
And it's not at all geared toward what roster seekers or GMs or whatever are looking for, which is that I'm in this for me to get laid. Like, that is why we're here.
No, the make them wait, I personally don't think it really applies to any kind of real roster creating.
Yeah.
Short of like, I mean, I guess if you're on like, let's just say you had a roster of, like 5 dudes.
Yeah.
Maybe one of them you're making wait just for maybe that's boat daddy, and so you're like, I want to get closer to
the plot.
I want to get closer to when your boat's on the dock, so I'm not gonna put out till then because then I know you go get me on that boat. Like, but if I put out now, it might be a waste. Like,
right.
So that part is fine. I totally get that. Otherwise, that's totally a relationship thing. It's not a real move roster wise.
No, especially because, like I said, the only fucking point of the roster is to get fucked. like hello. I mean, yes, there are other like sub points. I was gonna say fun, there are other, there are
whatever
other dating generally, like enjoying life. Great, all those great. But like I can't say it strongly enough how stupid it is to think that you should like go about your relationship with the roster members the same fashion in which you would go about the relationship with a guy that you were legitimately trying to build a boyfriend out of. Like, they're not the same. So why are you acting the same way with one and the other?
Well, I mean, yes, you shouldn't act that way. And maybe that's why you need to start being a therapist for some people. I know if it were me, and I think I even might have said this on the 101 episode, I would probably just end up feeling some type of way.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be able to get myself out of my head in that way, where it's like, no, Lume, like, she's just pretty good sex,
right
on Fridays and Saturdays, and that's what it is. Like, just only think of it in that way, like, focus. And I think we get distracted.
Yeah.
And
confused.
Yes. And emotional and all the other words that lead to, it not working, which is like, I said like rosters to me, friends with benefits. And I always think that doesn't work because somebody always catches feelings. Like, it's historically, I checked with Elias. The stats are in. Historically,
check the literature.
Yes, it normally doesn't work. But I'm not saying it can't work. Yeah. Because I've definitely seen it work where people, that's what they are. They know they roles and they shut their mouths.
Well, and here's my, like, this is sort of going into a different tangent, but that's okay. So to your point about like it doesn't work because someone always catches feelings. My suggestion, safeguard, approach, strategy, take your pick, to that is that, like, and this is like a very funny thing to say given the speech I just gave, but I'm actually not against finding a boyfriend.
You see what I'm working with? Y'all see what I'm working with?
Like I said, I'm a woman of many fucking avenues, whatever, dynamic. So I'm not against exclusively dating someone. I'm truly not. I mean it with my whole heart. But
her whole cold black icy icebox heart.
At this point in my life, have already built a life that at least I'm in the process of. I mean, like, it's never finished, but that I'm like happy with, and so I don't need it, and I, that manifests in my actions in the way that, like, I'm not bringing that energy. So I'm open to it. I obviously, it wouldn't be terrible to find someone that you fucking love and are totally compatible with and whatever.
Yes,
but like, I'm not going to bring that energy. And so to your point about one person always catches feelings, it's not like I've never caught feelings for somebody on the roster. I 100% have. And sometimes it's gone bad and sometimes it's gone good. But like, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because I just lean back on the notion that, like, I'm not going to bring girlfriend energy if he can until he brings boyfriend energy.
Okay.
So, like, that's one way that I have found to try to, like, keep it not get confused.
Well, which is great, and I love that. And maybe in my retired time, I, will talk with the Zen masters, the CEO, and others about this thing you talk about not bringing the boyfriend energy so quickly, and just be a guy, a jag, just a guy.
Yeah.
And maybe that'll work if I ever,
come out of retirement.
Send the MJ fax. So, if I ever send the fax. So.
I just feel like and maybe this is just, I mean, some people are finessers. There's no doubt about it. But like, if a guy is bringing boyfriend energy to me, like I will know it. He's trying to like actually get to know me on a deep level and get to know my friends and family on a deep level and see me like a lot. Enough to the point where it's like you really don't have time for anyone else.
Yeah, they're eliminating other roster guys' opportunity because they're like, I want to take that time.
Right. And then like whatever, we'll either have the conversation or it'll be obvious, and then I'll like see how I feel about it, and then bring girlfriend energy, and then that's fine. But I don't worry about the roster. This is one of the reasons I don't worry about the roster, and this is what my main takeaway for roster 201 for season 2 is like, don't bring it, like match energy, or if you're not legitimately matching it in your actions, mash it in your mind, because you can do whatever you want in your actions. Like to your point, like if I'm gonna date with a guy who's on the roster and I'm gonna act like I fucking love him.
You're the best.
Yeah,
oh my
like,
gosh,
that's
I've never met anybody like
but
you.
in my mind, I know what the fuck it is because I know what the energy is. And if I haven't seen you in 3 fucking weeks, no matter if you're so happy to see me or not, it's not really that relevant except for the fun, the dating, like the sex, whatever. Like I said, all the things that the roster secrets are there for. And I don't mean all of this to sound as like hollow and terrible as it is. Like I said, everybody who's ever on my roster, I legitimately think they're cool. Like it's not really about that.
Yeah, you don't hate them.
Yeah.
It's not like you're running around here with just dropping a bunch of 10-inch penises away. So I mean, I get it. Like it's fine. Like
I'm just not. I just like don't worry about it because it's just fine.
You know my rule about when a woman says it's fine. The only thing that it isn't.
It's not fucking fine.
The only thing it isn't is fine, actually. But that's.
Here's another example of the ways that the GMs and the relationship people are different. I was talking to my girlfriend recently, and she's on Hinge and all the whatever. And she went on this date. We were talking about how our date went, and she said, "Yeah, he's got a really good head on his shoulders."
That's like the equivalent. Well, not the equivalent, but that reminds me of like back in the day when you would ask like one of your female friends, like, "Oh, so you said you got this friend for me? Like, what's she like?" And the only response would be is, "She's really nice."
Oh, like not. Oh, well, okay. So
it's not. It's a compliment only in the sense that like that exact phrase is 100% true, but you have nothing else to say about that person.
Well, okay, so you're right. You're right.
Nothing.
Now, but this is funny because she did say like this was on a list of attributes. So she was like, "Yeah, he's super hot. I'm very attracted to him." But then the last thing she said was he's got a good head on his shoulders. And it's funny that even you just now in the argument that you were making were perceiving that as like positive.
No.
Like in and of itself.
No, just the statement by itself individually is not an insult.
I would never describe that as a good thing to say about someone. This is kind of my point.
Yeah, I don't know. I've met enough crazy people in the world. Like having a good head on your shoulders is actually important. So I would disagree with you. 100%.
I just don't see that. Like to me, that describes someone who's like.
I'm better with words, so I would say something different, but it would be the same thing. It would mean the same thing. I don't know. Like it would just mean the same thing.
Meaning what?
So like, I don't know, having a good head on her shoulders. Like maybe I would say something like, she's really cultured. She's.
See, I would never equate those. I would never equate good head on her shoulders with cultured.
I would.
You would?
Yeah, because I'd be like, you have been around. You know things better than most.
And I would never equate it with been around either.
Yeah, well, been around again. It's like you're putting it in a thing. But I would. I don't think that statement is an insult. I just don't.
See, I just find it so like.
So you find it insulting to the guy, or you feel like you'd be insulted if someone said that about you?
I find that as not any. It's like a turnoff. I don't know if it's an insult. Like I agree with you. I don't know that I would take that phrase as an insult to either me or to a guy, but like I would take that as like a major turnoff. If somebody described me as like she's got a good head on her shoulders, I'd be like, that's.
Well, don't worry, no one's saying that about you, so you ain't got to worry about that, girl. Like, that's not coming out of nobody's mouth, not even your co-host. Like,
if I described a guy as he's got a good head on his shoulders, that is not a guy that I think is like fun, sexy, good time. Da 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 da.
How do I say this? How do I say this nicely? Hater in the house. Like, there's no reason.
I would just never say that about somebody that I was like, ooh la la, attracted to.
You could not say it, but it doesn't make it any less true. Like, I'm sure that there's guys you've been fucking with or talked to.
It just screams boring.
Yeah, because you're thinking of it in a poor way. Like, that's what I'm saying. You're thinking of it as an insult. Like, you are. Like, you're not insulting this person, but you don't think of it as anything positive.
But that's kind of my point. Like, I feel like
somebody
who says he's got a good head on his shoulders or she's got a good head on her shoulders, that's somebody who's evaluating whether this person is bae material.
Okay, that part, sure, maybe. But it doesn't make it any more of an insult.
So again, like me as somebody who's like looking for like to fill a roster.
Yeah,
I'm not like, again, like it's not like, oh, does he have a good head on his shoulders? I don't care.
Okay. Well, and this is probably something we should have thought of before we even did this episode, as far as list of descriptions of what it's about to be, where it applies to the roster. But
maybe it's just a words thing. Maybe it's just like
it's 100% a words thing.
It just feels like a very like cornball-ish type thing.
Well, why don't you try fucking around with some cornballs on the roster this year? Maybe you'll be a little happier.
Maybe that's the problem, is I never go for the cornballs.
I bet you them cornballs ain't gonna go that long without texting you back.
What's the difference between a cornball and a simp? Because somehow I'm turned off by the thought of a cornball and turned on by the thought of a simp.
I don't know. The only thing I can say is that most of the time when I meet cornballs, they look more like you than look like me. But that's about all I can think of. Like, I'm sure there's other things.
No, I feel like a cornball is
all
like,
I can think of when you're asking me the question. Like,
I feel like a cornball is more. It implies very straight and narrow, very like rule following, not not wild, rebellious. Whereas Simps, like none of that is. It's not necessarily implied either way, but it's not inherent.
Well, you just think of Simps and you just think of Drake, so you don't even actually notice any of the cornballists in these dudes. So we're just gonna ignore that whole thing you just said. We should probably just cut it out because honestly, it was just lies, so it's fine. But again, the words, they're terrible. They're terrible. All right, no, but there's one thing I really do want you to talk about because I just wanted to hear you do this, and that's the rant.
Oh, my little mini rant? Okay, yeah. Recently, I thought about putting this in What You Watching, but I felt like it needed to go in the roster episode. I recently watched Mystic Pizza, which is like a 1980s fucking rom-com starring Julia Roberts.
Shocular.
It's on Netflix. It's a good movie. It's pretty basic, but
Kristen liking a basic movie. Oh my god.
Yeah, but I like rom-coms. But I don't. Yeah, I don't know. That's the whole thing. Not the point.
Continue.
In that movie, I hadn't seen it in a really long time, and I forgot about the fact that at the end, one of the characters, I won't make it a total spoiler. I'll just make it like a little. This isn't really spoiler.
It's old enough where it doesn't count as spoiler alert. I ain't spoiler alert. No 1998 movie.
At the end of the movie, one of the characters, who was wronged by a guy, gets a check from him, and he like is like whatever, tail between his legs type vibes.
Yeah, like, just like here's this money, I'm gone. Oh my god.
Yeah. And she like takes the check, but then when he leaves, like, and she's with like her homies or whatever, she rips it up. I forgot that this happened.
I'm so empowered.
No, I know.
And gave me this money, and guess what I did? I don't want it.
And when I watched this movie when I was much younger, I feel like this is like exemplary of like the saga of Kristen's growth and development or whatever. When I was much younger and watched this movie, I was like, yeah, girl, like vibes, like you ripped that check up, like
So
fuck that
proud
dude.
of you. So proud of you.
And when I watched this movie recently, like a couple weeks ago, I was like, oh, girl, no, what are you doing? You don't rip it up.
You fumbling the bag.
Yeah, thank you. You spend it, bro. You take that. What are you talking about? You take his money.
All the girls whose IG profiles and Tinder profiles is just a Venmo and Cash App, and you out here ripping up checks?
Right. You out here ripping up a check. Like, that is just, oh, no. And it's so indicative of the fact that it's an old movie, because it's just like, no, like, I have too much pride for spending his money. You spend it. That's the best way to get back at this dude. He wronged you. He did you super dirty. You spend his fucking money.
Spend all of it and more. Shit. You can overdraft on the check, figure out a way.
It, bro. Cash it immediately. Cash it next day. He'll probably be like, oh, damn, I didn't make you
No, follow.
Exactly.
Make him follow you to the bank. Cash it right there.
Right.
Like, shoot. Like, nah, I
You
want to
look
make
at the
sure.
check and be like, that's all?
Yeah, I'm about to say, I don't know if this money is good. Let's go to the bank real quick and let's check this. Let's check this.
So anyway, I had to have a little mini rant on that because once again, it's like, I feel like it's applicable to the roster in the sense of like, you know, you're not like, again, if you're in an argument, if a guy treats you bad and you're trying to like get through it with him to forge a relationship, you would act a certain way towards what he's doing.
True.
And him throwing money at a problem is like not very healthy in terms of you guys building
a real relationship.
Right. So then in that sense, it's like, no, like you're not just going to give me money, like da-da-da. But in this case, but in the roster case, it's like, oh boy, like is acting a fool, acting stupid, whatever.
Oh boy, ain't hit you up in 6 weeks, and you're like, dang, I never see you.
And then it's like, oh, let me, fly you out, or let me buy this, or you say it to him, like, buy me dinner, or like da 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 da.
It's like, oh.
You take it. It doesn't matter.
Here, this money, I'll be back soon, or something. You'd be like, bet, all right, great, I'll take this little 300.
Right.
Yeah,
like the underlying issues with like throwing money at relationship problems do not apply in a roster scenario. You always take it. The answer is always take it, and I've always said that.
That is something. I mean, you don't say a lot of things, but that is one thing you have always said.
Take the money and run.
Take the money and run. Oh no, I hear you. Well, shit, I don't know. We got some work to do with this roster.
We do
this year. Like we gotta, and again, I'm gonna be the better wingman. So
there we go.
I think we'll start with the Savage. 10-day Savage.
10 day.
I love you for 10 days,
yes.
And then you out.
And then peace out. You didn't make the cut. I'm sorry. It's been fun.
And then we'll just wait and see who calls back.
Yeah.
See who wants to get back on the team. Yeah. Who's trying to come back to the gym. And everybody else, deuces.
Put his shots up. Got some good conditioning in. Yeah, he's ready for another shot.
Got a good run. Got a good sweat in. And,
yeah.
We'll see you bye. So I think it'll work out. I have faith in you.
Good. We're going to see. We going to see.
We going to see. 2022. We going to see. Shit. You got anything else?
No, that's good. I think we should end it right then and there.
All right.
Take the money and run.
Take the money and run. Remember, she always said that. She always said that.